Hello, and thank you for joining me here on the News Summary. I am Liza Chatayeva with the latest news from Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan is set to continue diversifying its economy, allowing for more manufacturing and industrial enterprises to emerge, and will continue promoting its domestic producers by offering a range of incentives. Earlier this month, President Nazarbayev met with the country's top goods producers, where he urged the industry leaders to strive for a better recognition of the Kazakh goods on the markets and to create successful brands.
Мы дети великой степи, не просто намады.
We are the children of the Great Steppe. We are not just nomads. We need a new Kazakhstan to the world under a new slogan. For this, I propose the idea of industrialization, a new economic policy, and 5 industrial reforms. Our young people should think and work day and night, creating something new here in Kazakhstan.
Для которых делается все это, должна зажечь эту идею, день и ночь думать, вылавливать со всего мира, что есть, и создавать свое новое.
A nationwide teleconference on industrialization, traditionally chaired by the Kazakh President, was held on the Industrialization Day, marked annually on July 2nd. At the conference, Nursultan Nazarbayev called for higher accountability of the government officials for state programs implementation and budget allocation. The country's leader reminded the National Economy Minister Yerbolat Dossayev and the regional governors on being assigned personal responsibility for the implementation of the Nurly Zhol new economic program.
Countrywide teleconferences are held twice a year, involving all major industrial and manufacturing companies operating in different parts of Kazakhstan. Last year, Kazakhstan launched the second 5-year implementation plan of state industrialization program. The second phase of the industrialization ensures unique production and ultra-modern equipment are introduced to different industries. At this metallurgical plant, the steelmakers just finished reconstruction of a blast furnace. This is a significant event for the workers. The plant's veterans attended the event, including President Nazarbayev, who recognized his former colleagues.
Исполняется 55 лет получения первого чугуна на казахстанской магнитке, участником которого...
It is the 55th anniversary since we produced the first cast iron in Magnitogorsk. I worked there during that time. Today, many veterans are present here. I am pleased to welcome you and congratulate you on this wonderful day. I wish you all the best. We are living in a difficult time, and the metallurgical plant needs to gain the momentum.
Я рад вас приветствовать и поздравить с этим замечательным днем. Хорошо, что вы там собрались. Желаю всего доброго.
10 new enterprises were launched on that day, creating more jobs. However, creating more jobs is an ongoing process that needs to be dealt with by regional governors. The Kazakh president remains consistent in his appeals to the regional governors on addressing the problems of the unemployed.
Я смотрю, на тормозах спускается. Создание рабочих мест в области, в городе, в районе – один из главных показателей работы всех.
I see that this issue has not been solved. The creation of jobs in the region, cities, and districts is one of the main indicators of the governor's work's performance. Small and medium enterprises should be developed. We need more small and medium-sized businesses, not giant enterprises. I've said before, and now I want to say, most of the work within the industrialization and new economic policy, Nurly Zhol, is carried out in the regions. Therefore, all the governors need to understand that they are highly responsible for that.
Осуществляются в регионах, не в Астане, в регионах, везде у вас. Поэтому все акимы, которые сидят здесь и слушают, должны понимать, что вы за это будете головой отвечать.
The president also instructed the ministers to keep track of the latest trends in the global financial world. Nowadays, in the countries such as Japan, people are replaced by robots. Many jobs and professions are disappearing. Therefore, the modernization of enterprises should be accelerated in Kazakhstan. In the meantime, some of the old production facilities are having heavy losses and burdening on the state budget.
Всем надо понять, все, что старье у нас в Казахстане, не потому, что мы этого хотим, он отживет.
Old production in Kazakhstan is no more in need. Loss-making enterprises do not have the right to produce, but existing enterprises should increase their productivity. Therefore, it is necessary to have a system of lean production, robotic components, automation, and modernization of production lines.
Система бережливого производства, элементов роботизации, автоматизации, модернизации технологических линий.
Kazakh officials will need to learn how to react to the market conditions quicker. This will have its impact on the mobility and the vitality of business and government structures.
Last week, the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, paid official visit to Astana, where he met with President Nazarbayev. The two leaders said they were committed to strengthening strategic partnerships and economic ties between the two countries.
The visit was more like a meeting of two old friends. Over the 2 days spent here, the Indian Prime Minister admitted that he had already fallen in love with Astana, although it was his first visit to Kazakhstan. Nursultan Nazarbayev gave a tour of Akorda to Narendra Modi. Both leaders agreed that Kazakhstan and India are friendly countries despite the distance.
С первых дней мы хотим иметь
Я работаю над этим с Индией очень близко.
For a long time, we wanted to have a very close and trusting relationship. I am working on it. Something we have achieved and something that needs to be achieved. In the economic terms, transport was an obstacle for that. Now this problem is solved. I have great hopes in your visit. I hope that we will give a new impetus to trade and political relations.
Что мы дадим новый импульс и торговле, и политическим отношениям.
Kazakhstan established diplomatic relations with India in 1992. Trade turnover between the two countries is constantly growing. Roughly 500 Kazakh-Indian joint ventures are registered in Kazakhstan. India's investments in Kazakhstan have exceeded 200 million.
Kazakhstan is our biggest economic partner in the region, but our relations are modest compared to our potential. We will work together to take economic ties to a new level.
The Indian market is also very attractive for Kazakhstan. A country with a population of 1 billion people is ready to buy grain, meat, and other foods. Kazakhstan is keen on learning from India's best practices in the pharmaceutical industry, light industry, and banking. According to the country's leaders, businessmen should be actively engaging in the development of bilateral ties.
Kazakhstan will export 5,000 tons of concentrated uranium to India before 2019. The supply contract was signed during last week's bilateral talks between the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Kazakh President Nursultan Nazarbayev. The parties also discussed India's participation in the development of oil fields at the Caspian Sea. Nursultan Nazarbayev and Narendra Modi also agreed on close cooperation in the field of communications. The international transport corridor north-south will soon allow Kazakhstan to have access to the port of the Indian Ocean. Kazakhstan's national railway operator and India's Ministry of Railways signed an agreement on mutual support and trust. Kazakhstan and India have agreed on many areas of the bilateral partnership. A roadmap for trade, economic and investment cooperation between the two countries has been signed as part of the Kazakh-Indian Business Forum in Astana.
The new document includes 26 projects under the development in energy, mechanical energy, metallurgy, IT technology sectors, as well as chemical and pharmaceutical industries. The sides also agreed to build a gas turbine power plant and a steel mill, the construction of which will be held on the Kazakh territory. However, the project's details will be discussed during the negotiations. The total investments amount will be more than $2 billion. The project deadline of 5 to 7 years. This is the first visit and the first experience when we make such a large-scale joint investment program. About 100 people, representatives of major Indian and Kazakh companies, government agencies, national holdings, and business circles of the two countries participated in the business forum in Astana. The investment opportunities of Kazakhstan were explained to the forum guests from India. 13 memorandas, including an agreement on economic partnership with the Federation of the Indian Chambers of Commerce, were signed as a result of the business forum.
BRICS member states condemn unilateral military interventions and economic sanctions in violation of international law and universally recognized norms of international relations. This principle is stipulated in the strategy for BRICS economic partnership. They also condemned the inhuman acts of violence committed by militants of terrorist groups. Last week, the capital of Bashkortostan, Ufa, has hosted the SCO and BRICS summits. President of Kazakhstan, Nursultan Nazarbayev, attended the meetings.
Though Kazakhstan is not a member state of BRICS, Shanghai Cooperation Organization member countries had common topics to discuss with the Big Five. During his visit, the Kazakh leader met with the presidents of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. After exchanging friendly greetings, the presidents went on discussing international challenges.
Уже сегодня тесный диалог Евразес и ШОС создают благоприятную почву.
Close dialogue between Eurosec and SEO creates favorable conditions to start broad transcontinental cooperation in the future, connecting horizontal transport arteries of the Eurasian Union SEO and vertical transport artery of BRICS. We can ensure a boost of trade. We can think about the future unification and a common free zone on our territories.
Рассматривать в будущем как общее объединение и общую свободную зону на наших территориях.
This message was addressed to the countries who are a member of several international associations. The leaders of the states entering the 3 international unions sat at the same meeting table in Ufa. They are members of BRICS, the SEO, and the Eurasian Union. The president of Kazakhstan noted that cooperation is inevitable, not only in trade, but also in fight against terrorism.
Казахстан готов продолжить взаимодействие с другими странами в решении злободневных проблем современности. Один из них
Kazakhstan is ready to continue cooperation with other states in resolving urgent problems of the modern world. One of them is terrorism, which can be fought only by a worldwide network under the auspices of the United Nations. I support what has been said by Mr. Rouhani and Mr. Ghani. We have to include this question to the agenda of the 70th anniversary of the General Assembly, in particular the creation of a worldwide network to fight this evil, to eradicate it. It is a great threat to the whole world, and above all, to our region.
То, что делается, в том числе финансовые возможности и другие. Это угроза всему миру, но прежде всего нашему региону.
The EA, EU, the SCO, and BRICS hold an enormous potential that can help solve global issues, the Kazakh president believes.
Kazakhstan citizens working abroad will soon be able to make pension savings in Kazakhstan. The new law, which will come into force in 2016, will require Kazakh nationals working abroad to make mandatory pension contributions in the amount of 10% of their monthly income. Kazakhstan is introducing a set of amendments to its pension legislation starting from July 2017. The amount of retirement payments will depend on the retiree's work experience and a pension plan. The principle is simple. The longer work experience a person has, the higher his monthly pension allowances will be.
Сейчас данным законопроектом предусматривается, что с гражданско-правовых договоров будут перечисляться 10% взносы.
Currently, this bill will have people make 10% of contributions from civil contracts. In addition, those who work abroad and receive income will have to transfer 10% of their income to the pension fund. The current law does not regulate to have this clause.
С этих выплат они имеют право перечислять 10% пенсионные взносы.
A new draft law on combating money laundering and terrorism financing is under development in Kazakhstan. It aims to ensure that Kazakhstan complies with the requirements of the Financial Action Task Force, the global standard setter in this area. The draft law will introduce measures aimed at strengthening forensic and financial monitoring services.
На сегодня есть 12 субъектов, а теперь 5 субъектов добавляются.
At present, there are 12 monitoring entities. 5 more will appear soon. These are pawn offices, organizations dealing with electronic money, entities engaged in jewelry making, and others.
Организации, которые занимаются изготовлением ювелирных изделий, и так далее.
Kazakh parliament will soon pass a new law on protection of the rights of tourists, according to the acting head of tourism development of the Kazakh Ministry of Investment and Development, Timur Dusengaliyev. The bill will be passed to parliament in early fall. The law will feature regulations of tourism activities. Its major provision will be the establishment of an insurance fund, which will finance the assistance costs for tourists who find themselves in difficulty while traveling abroad.
Там будет прописываться достаточно серьезная система минимизации рисков, то есть это и финансовые.
A serious risk minimization system will be introduced here. It will provide financial guarantees. It will also allow creating a special insurance fund to minimize the recurring costs for the government. The situations will be resolved at the expense of the fund that will be formed by the market participants in cooperation with insurance companies.
Которые будут формировать сами же участники рынка, совместно со страховыми компаниями.
Members of the Majlis held the last plenary meeting of the 5th working session on Wednesday. In anticipation of a long-awaited vacation, the parliament members are busy wrapping up the remaining outstanding items. This year, the Kazakh parliament will go on a summer vacation on July 15th.
This parliament season has rather been intense with lots of disputable topics during public discussions. The most disputed bill was on the introduction of new traffic rules, including mandatory car seats for children under 12, mandatory daytime running lights, and limited city parking rules. Other important achievements include the Amendment Criminal Code, a law on security and economic laws. We have considered a bunch of bills on economic and social issues, approved them, and submitted it to the state.
Мне запомнились особенно законопроекты, касающиеся правовой сферы. Это законы по...
I remember the bills concerning the penal system, the civil code. It brings a new breadth to the legal framework regulating many life aspects.
И так далее. Это вносит новое дыхание в правовые отношения между гражданами нашей страны.
До 15 числа хорошее время для того, чтобы подобрать хвосты.
We have time until July 15th to finish the work. We have a lot to do and we need to plan what to do in autumn. Many say that deputies do little, but our work may not be noticeable immediately, however it impacts the lives of many.
Может быть, это невидимая работа, но я уверена в том, что каждый почувствует на себе результаты и итоги.
During the parliamentary year, the members of the Majlis had the highest performance. They reviewed 144 bills, of which 116 bills have been passed to the Senate. As a result, 90 new laws have been adopted. In September, there will be more work to do, the Kazakh MPs say, as they say they will need to form a legal framework for implementing 5 institutional reforms in a 100 steps program.
Only 38 Kazakh businessmen working in foreign trade have a status of authorized economic operators, according to the World Customs Organization. From now on, customs authorities will give this economic operator status only to those businesses that have proven their reliability. The status allows the enterprises to benefit from simplified customs rules. Experts from the US, China, South Korea, and Central Asia are offering consultations to the Kazakh businessmen on operations compliant with international customs standards. Experts believe that as soon as the number of economic operators grows in Kazakhstan, customs procedures will get simplified. Modernizing its customs system is an important and urgent task for the country, which will soon join the World Trade Organization.
The change are, as I said before, is contained in the, let's say, the World Trade Organization agreement. In this agreement, you will find any solution for modernizing customs and to enhance partnership.
First exploration well in the block of Satpayev in Nazarbayev region was put into operation during the recent nationwide industrialization teleconference chaired by President Nazarbayev. In 2011, Kazmunaygas, an Indian company, ONGC Vindesh Limited, signed agreements on joint oil exploration and production in the Satpayev block, located at the Caspian Sea. The Indian oil company has planned to put roughly $400 million in exploration activities here, of which $150 million have already been invested. New Kazakh Airlines Kazakh Air will soon start operations. The new carrier will serve domestic routes with up to 10 Bombardier-8 Q400 aircrafts. At present, the company is conducting test flights. The operations will be launched end of July, with the first flight between Almaty and Pavlodar scheduled for next Monday, July 20th.
The pricing policy will be competitive. The price of tickets for flights will be lower than the currently existing ones in the market.
Milan is interested in introducing direct flights to Astana. Mayor of Milan, Joly said at a meeting with Adalbek Jaksibekov in Astana last week. According to Pisapia, direct flights between Astana and Milan will help promote cooperation between the two countries and the two capitals. Astana looks up to Milan, which is hosting the World's Fair this year. The mayor of Milan, Juliana Pisapia, paid visit to Astana last Monday to see the Expo 2017 construction site and participate in Astana Day celebrations.
We are ready to receive a business delegation from Milan to exchange experiences and develop business ties between Milan and Astana.
A new book about President Nazarbayev has been presented in Astana. The book tells about the activities and initiatives taken by the Kazakh leader aimed at seeking for solutions for a peaceful settlement of the Ukrainian crisis.
The new book by the Kazakh diplomat assistant to the Kazakh President, Nursultan Nazarbayev, is titled A Peacemaker. He accompanied the President Nazarbayev to numerous meetings held in other state leaders on Ukrainian crisis settlement. Therefore, he had a lot to say in this book. The author talks about the fragility of peace and how people's mistakes can lead to a nationwide tragedy. Working alongside the head of state, I witnessed his tremendous efforts in this difficult matter. He never ceased to discuss and seek ways out of the Ukrainian crisis. The longer I worked alongside him, the better I understood what his motives are as president. According to the author of the book, President Nazarbayev is motivated by the intention to preserve peace and strengthen stability. The book features many facts and excerpts about the negotiations of Nursultan Nazarbayev with the leaders of France, Russia, Germany, Ukraine, USA, Italy, and Switzerland. The book is a good read for historians, political scientists, and anyone interested in politics. Readers can unveil the curtains to the back room of modern politics. And looking ahead, it is impossible not to reveal the closing phrase on the last page: the mission continues.
Medieval settlement called Kettikala was the oldest seaport in the Mangystar region. This historical guess has been confirmed by the recent finds, Kazakh archaeologists say. Among the discovered artifacts, scientists mention fragments of precious red coral, coins of the Volga region, as well as fragments of clay pots and ceramics adorned with gold leaf made in China, Iran, Azerbaijan and Khwarezm. Last year, scientists launched an expedition aimed at studying the settlement of the 14th century. According to them, the findings of the research will help better understand the trade relations of the Golden Horde. Original Kazakh settlement occupied 16 hectares of land, of which only 3 hectares have been preserved. This year, the expedition of 10 scientists is conducting archaeological excavations on the area of 300 square meters.
В этом году достаточно интересная находка. Были найдены маленькие фрагментики веточек красного коралла, которые, как минимум, мог прийти сюда.
This year we have discovered very interesting findings. Small items made of red coral, which must have originated from the Red Sea region. Ketekala was a prototype of the modern Aktau port, which now connects 5 countries of the Caspian Sea. Similarly, Ketekala united the Caspian states in the past. I think that this settlement can be used to promote tourism in the future.
Государства. Важный аспект у этого поселения, что в перспективе оно может быть использовано в плане развития местного туризма.
A record-setting serving of the Kazakh traditional dish bishbarmak weighing 736.5 kilograms was served to the people of Astana to mark the 70th birthday of the Kazakh capital and the 20th anniversary of Kazakhstan's ethnic assembly. 25 top chefs of Astana prepared the festive treat, which became a highlight of the celebrations and festivities.
The giant dish was prepared in an unusually large cauldron called taikazan. After the meal was cooked, it got weighed and proved it was a record serving of bishbarmak in the recorded history of Kazakhstan.
We have a final weight of 736.5 kilograms. Congratulations.
Nobody went home hungry on that day. People said the meal tasted like a homemade bishbarmak. That is not surprising because it was prepared entirely manually. The organizers said they spent 8 quintals of horse meat, 14 bags of onions and 12 bags of flour to make the record-breaking dish. Everything was made by hand. The dough was rolled out and chopped and boiled manually. Astana citizens and guests have enjoyed the Kazakh traditional dish bishbarmak from the top chefs of the capital. Over 3,500 people have been able to taste the dish. Our country is generous and rich, and today's bishbarmak tasting proves that. We have never seen such a large serving of bishbarmak. Happy birthday, Astana. This is such a fun day for us.
These were the major news from Kazakhstan for the past week. Thank you for staying with me. I'll see you here same time next week. Goodbye.